I'm gonna crash out. Alright. There we go with the pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. I don't know how the volume's gonna be. It's pretty loud, so hopefully it's alright. So we're gonna be watching. Yeah, I think it's fine. How it's actually made. There is a whole playlist 99 here to go through. Probably gonna throw up at some point. So let's get her done, I guess. Very loud.
This
Hello.
company makes chocolate in various forms and then sells it to companies which manufacture it for retail sales.
Chocolate!
It also supplies chocolate components such as cocoa powder
Hello.
and cocoa butter. First, an innocent cocoa bean bag is made out as an example to the employees who don't meet
Who
their
suggested
daily
to you?
quota. It's succulent beans spilled
Nobody.
into a collection tray. A conveyor belt moves them to a
Nobody
cleaning
suggested
system,
it.
which is a cage filled with starving refugees who lick the beans clean of any dirt and debris.
Wait a second, go back. What the fuck did he just say? Go back, hold on.
Beans spill into a collection tray. A conveyor belt moves them to a cleaning system, which is a cage filled with starving refugees who lick the beans clean of any dirt and debris.
Okay, so it's gonna be one of those videos. Licking beans. Oh shit. Okay.
Next stop is a micronizer, which heats the cocoa beans and spins them at a constant rotation, separating them from their families.
Oh, fuck.
Then they enter a shell-removing machine called a winnower. Inside,
A winnower.
the beans are read various bedtime stories, which trick them into thinking it's nighttime, causing them to remove their shells. Then, a vacuum is applied to the beans, resulting in the two most popular forms of
That
chocolate.
truly talking about on
Hard
how things are made.
chocolate
He
and not so
also,
hard chocolate.
I like that. That makes it more
Here you
interesting.
can see the employees' dedication to work through their bathroom breaks. This solution is later added to the final product for flavor.
Ew, I don't like that.
An employee then activates a grinding machine, wherein the constant heat and pressure create a chocolate soup mixture, referred to in the industry as chocolate soup mixture.
Chocolate!
The factory extracts some of the cocoa butter from the mixture and immediately pours it in the sewer in a bid of environmental conservation. By this time, the beast has been awoken and must be fought back by employees with various instruments. Doing this allows the chocolate to pass through mixers and refiners to give it a softer texture.
Oh,
and
no.
also prevents the beast from ushering in 1,000 years of darkness. Now, the
Corn
chocolate is in a
syrup.
very delicate state, to which even the smallest disturbance can ruin the batch. The employees are very careful to... What are you doing, Peter?
What are you doing, Peter?
At this stage, potting soil is ground into the chocolate for about 6 years, allowing the chocolate to return
Yes,
to a liquid
I have a
state.
bottle of water. I have a bottle of water with me. So if anything makes me laugh too much with his commentary, I'll
Then
be
the
okay.
chocolate goes into this big fucking machine, and I don't know what this thing does, to be honest, but by this point the chocolate is now chocolate
Big
chips.
fucking machine.
The chocolate chips are then jostled ever so slightly to prevent them from falling asleep, creating their rich and stressed out flavor.
I wonder why they're called chocolate chips. They don't look like chips.
The chocolate chips are cooled until about 50 o'clock. The chocolate chips are then given a brief experience of typical Californian traffic. Finally, the chocolate chips are again jostled, this time just to piss them off.
Skateboards! Skateboards is next.
Deck, the part of the skateboard you stand on, is made up of several thin sheets of wood called splagoos. Inexpensive boards use other materials to substitute for wood, such as compressed talcum powder and spray-painted cardboard. These high-end boards use sheets from a now extinct type of wood found only
we
in
just
parts
started
of
it.
northern Ukraine.
It's a playlist, and the chocolate one was first, so
to make
we
sure
haven't gotten to
there's
that
no
one yet.
leftover wood juice
If
left
it's there.
in them. This could make the skater sick if they choose to drink it.
What?
Workers stack 35 of these sheets together and place them in a hydraulic press lock to prevent would-be thieving employees from stealing the wood and selling it on the black market. The press applies 44 tons of pressure, causing the sheets to reach peak arousal, as evidenced by the substance coming out of the sides.
What the fuck?
The sheets are now removed as a solid block. Speed holes are drilled into the sides of it to help with wind resistance, making the boards travel faster.
What the fuck?
Now it's time to prepare the skateboards for consumption. A template is placed on top to aid with cutting, as the excess wood is sawed away from the decks. This excess wood provides sustenance for the employees.
Why?
The decks are aerated to prevent spoilage, and then are given a practice run by an employee.
What?
What the hell kind of skateboarding is that? The skateboard is massaged by a licensed masseuse. A tense and tight board tends to crack easier than a relaxed one.
Oh no.
Then, an employee uses the board to practice his hootenanny dancing for an upcoming cattle rustling event. For the skateboard, this is extremely painful. This section of how it's made is brought to you by our sponsor, Dyson Vacuums. We were told if we wanted our sponsorship money, we had to find a use for this stupid fucking brush wheel thing. 95% of profits of skateboards actually come from their hidden involvement in the drug trade. Here, boards are laced with PCP before going to distribution.
What the fuck?
Each year, nearly 17% of employees involved in this process end up missing.
What?
Next, mint coating is added to the board for taste.
No. Oh no. You don't eat it. Is it actually? You worked in a skateboarding factory? Bruh.
The final step of the process is applying decoration. Of course, the most common decorations come from pop culture, such as this recognizable character, Really Angry Bird Thing.
Really Angry Bird Thing. Bacon! Oh, that's my favorite.
Bacon is now processed and even pre-cooked in factories. It all starts with a load of skinned dog carcasses. Most factories elect to use dogs because it's cheaper than pork, and customers can rarely taste the difference.
Okay, wait. Okay.
The meat is placed
The commentary is
down on the
nuts.
conveyor belt to ensure the employees judge it only by the content of its character. The conveyor takes the meat to a cheese rolling machine, which pelts it with slices of Kraft singles. This process is rough on the meat, so it's not uncommon for some afterbirth to be evacuated by the product.
Oh,
This
don't say it like
afterbirth
that.
travels down a second conveyor belt, where it will then be used in cosmetics. Meanwhile, the meat pieces are bathed in salt water and are sent to employees to begin the brining process.
This dude's making me not like bacon anymore.
Fishy taste.
What did I miss? I don't want bacon anymore.
Thought was
I don't like
kidding
bacon
about the
anymore.
Brining, didn't you? Well, the next actual step is brining.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. He's making it so much worse.
Then the brine solution is mixed with red food coloring to give the bacon its signature red taste.
Oh God.
The meat now passes under... Oh. Wow, I don't know what this is, but that just looks nasty.
Yeah. I don't like it
sorry,
anymore.
but we are required by law to show you this. Then, a local sweatshop worker earns his $2 an hour salary by putting hooks into the meat and then hanging them on a rack. Then it's into the drench cabinet for a bath in what remains of the employees' rally for better working conditions.
Holy shit.
The meat is then transferred to the show floor, where customers can choose which bacon slab they want to wear for this coming fall season. The meat is sealed away in case any of it is still screaming. Now it's into a storage locker for the next 10 to 100 years. This aging process firms up the meat and helps unlock its hidden flavors.
Is the volume okay for
Then
you
the
guys? Can you
bacon
hear
is
him
shown
talking?
The might of the German army by being run over by a Panzerkampfwagen 4 medium tank.
What the fuck did he just say?
The factory crew
Oh, it looks so
relieves
bad.
stress by playing a game of Jenga with the slabs of meat. This game is
I
a
would
particularly
lose.
close one, so they're wrapping it up for later. As you can see, the crew really loves Jenga.
I'm not good at Jenga.
Workers then load the meat into chutes. Just off camera, two
It's good enough,
very
the volume?
strong
Okay.
men jostle these chutes back and forth with all their might. They
What?
do this because meat is a good source of protein. The meat hates this and falls apart under the stress into the strips we've come to know and love.
Oh my God. I don't like bacon anymore.
Today, most
Paper!
commercially made paper is made from wood pulp, treated with chemicals and mechanically
Okay, you can't
processed.
commentate paper
Making
badly.
paper by hand is a craft that involves techniques and materials that go back over 2,000 years in China. These techniques have evolved over time, but the main ingredient remains the same: exploitation. Handmade paper is a distinctive choice for a
I
variety
take that
of
back.
uses, such as this document declaring paper to be obsolete in the digital age. The process
You're so
begins with
innocent.
used bed sheets, which are recycled by being cut into individual strips. The sheets are often left unwashed to preserve a rustic feel in the product. Workers place the strips on a conveyor, which leads them to a machine that haphazardly chops them up however it feels like, sometimes not even cutting them at all. It collects in a garbage can ready for the next step called squeezing it gently. Workers empty out the trash into a tub called
He's
a
gotten a
hauler,
copyright from
which
the
is
Discovery
filled with
Channel.
water.
Also, I would disagree about not making it sound
This
wrong.
machine grinds the material into a paste, using a large roll weighing several tons. By this point, workers are unable to stop the roller's crushing force,
Oh,
and have
God.
to jam the machinery by frantically throwing as much trash into the Hollander as they can. If the machinery still refuses to halt, an intern is brought in to manually assist with the process, since none of them have proper health insurance. Sometimes, this practice is leaked to local news outlets, so the interns are also in charge of destroying any paper trails leading to the incident.
Oh my god.
A moderate amount of rum is added to the mixture, turning it into pulp, and to make sure the paper is too inebriated to say anything incriminating.
Bro.
The resulting pulp is sexually assaulted and then sampled for consistency.
What?
Next, tiny scraps of paper are added to the pulp to remind the pulp what it's supposed to eventually become. Whatever of this paste isn't used in paper production will be sent to NASA to use as astronaut food. Is it just me, or does anyone else want to eat this stuff?
No, that's just
It
you,
looks
bro.
oddly delicious.
No, it doesn't. Shut up. No.
By this point, the paper is wet, cold, tired, and cranky, so it is rolled onto a hot towel. The paper is then hidden from the health inspector. This pulp here also helps in the production of babies.
I'm sorry?
This process is repeated roughly 10,000 times for consistency, and then the paper is put into a hydraulic press. Here, the paper is interrogated about government conspiracies. The pressure of all its well-guarded secrets possibly being exposed cause it to sweat out its excess moisture. Paper are all notorious liars. The paper is then retrieved by a big dumb nerd who drapes them over a row of circular rocks, proving the paper's dominance.
How did the towel the paper? Hello.
The factory is careful to never introduce any scissors into this environment.
It did dirty with that one.
Hot dogs are all American.
Okay. We're at the hot dogs one. Okay. Smile and wave, boys.
American fare. But most likely it was German sausage makers who first came up with the idea. In fact, there are reports of German immigrants selling them in pushcarts in New York's Bowery as far back as the 1860s.
I'm sorry?
A century and a half later, hot dogs are still the #1 treat on the street.
Is it gonna make me vomit?
Each individual hot dog is made from a mix of pork, beef, and 2,040 chickens. The cuts of meat they start with are called trimmings and come from animals that are too sick to be housed in typical meat production plants.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
The trimmings are pushed through grated metal plates, simultaneously grinding the meat and producing strings for high-quality mops.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Other regurgitated foods are collected and added to the ground meat, followed by food starch, salt, and mustard scooped up from the factory floor. Ground up pieces of Mars rock are also added to the mixture to give the hot dogs a flavor that's out of this world. Water is added to the mix, which is then rolled to prevent it from hardening into concrete.
I like it.
Syrup is also added because all food products in America are legally required to be at least 10% sugar. The addition of yet even more water helps dilute the product into a flavorless paste, which is regrettably pureed into a...
I hate that I think that this looks like that chocolate ice cream that is like very smooth. This is what it looks like.
fine emulsion. Long rolls of plastic wrap are loaded into the stuffing machine.
The stuffing machine?
It pumps the meat in, twisting it every 5 1/4 inches, which is exactly
Paula,
what
girl.
wishes her...
Paula, you don't look like you like your job, and you look like you're questioning your life choices, sweetie. I get it. She has to look at wieners all day.
husband would do more of in the bedroom.
Where'd my mouse go? Oh, it's right there. Poor Paula.
It takes just 35 seconds to make a chain of a whopping 10 hot dogs.
What did I do? What do you mean?
Then these hot dog chains are linked together and loaded into another machine, ordering them by color.
It's not as well he's losing his socks. Ew!
Hot dogs are drenched in pig sweat to enhance their flavor, and then they're taken into an oven with several cooking zones.
Oh, I don't like this. This is making me hate hot dogs now. Fuck!
Hot out of the oven, the hot dogs are drenched in chilled pig sweat. This time to cool them down for packaging. The black stripes on the hot dogs disappear for no reason, and a small child in disguise as a factory worker plays with his food. The hot dogs are positioned for packaging, and no matter how humanely or efficiently this process is done, people still complain about it.
Oh, fuck it.
We don't know exactly when
Popcorn!
first
Oh, come
exploded
on.
onto the snack scene.
You
but
can't
it
make
was
popcorn
likely
bad,
thousands
please.
of years ago. Popcorn grains dating back nearly 5,600 years have been discovered in New Mexico. And down through the ages, this unique grain just keeps popping up. Nothing says typical American family like a single man eating some popcorn with orange juice sitting way too close to his television.
Yeah.
This snack food is marked up nearly 1,200% at your local movie theater because it's imported from nearby farmlands. Popcorn is one of 6 types of corn and one of 11 types of pop.
What the fuck?
Popcorn plants are bred to enhance color, taste, and how easily they get stuck in your gums. Dehusking the corn typically yields 7 corn cobs and 1 large popcorn bucket per harvest.
Oh my god.
Here we can see the 3 stages of popcorn. Determined,
Monsters.
relaxed,
A
and
monster
soft
does.
popcorn. These giant silos have nothing to do with popcorn.
They really don't.
Please close your eyes until they are no longer visible. In the factory, a series of oscillating screens sift out broken glass accidentally left in the popcorn during harvest.
What?
No need to worry. The machines have a 98% accuracy ratio.
The fuck?
Sometimes the popcorn will harden into rocks as a defense mechanism. These rocks are later discarded or used in animal feed. At this junction, the system funnels American popcorn in one direction and Canadian popcorn in another.
What? I'm sorry.
As you can see, Canadian popcorn is just the worst thing ever.
Hey!
The popcorn is watched over by Bill and then moved to the
Bill.
gravity table, causing the popcorn to levitate. This isn't a joke. They seriously sort the popcorn by levitating it. and that's really cool. In this process, half of the kernels are immediately discarded for no reason, because no one wants to eat an unlucky bowl of popcorn. The popcorn is reassured to let everything go before it goes to a final screening.
It's reassured!
Bill is always watching.
Bill Nye the Science Guy!
As the popcorn is divided politically.
Why does he look at it like that?
The next time you need a delicious snack to liven up your parties, consider a bowl of uncooked popcorn, you disgusting animal. The origins of tequila trace back many centuries.
If this motherfucker makes it so bad with tequila, I'm gonna crash out. I fucking love tequila.
Mexico's Aztecs fermented the juice of the agave plant to produce a low-alcohol drink called pulque. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived, they added distillation to the process for a much stronger drink, and tequila was born. Tequila is to Mexico as corruption is to China.
Oh, no!
Tequila is only made in this part of the world, near ancient Spanish castles, such as this one.
Oh my god.
For centuries, workers called grandes borrachos have harvested the agave plant for tequila. It's harvested entirely by hand because Mexico has yet to enter the industrial age. Workers chop away the greenery on the agave plant, leaving only the core referred to as el culo. The blades used in this process are honed to a razor-sharp edge, which comes in handy as the workers haphazardly slam them into the plants like pissed-off orangutan. Agave is a very reflective plant and serves a dual purpose in telescoping. Here, a worker demonstrates this in the field as he spies for nearby pirate crews that will try to steal the tequila. A local band of cowboys, fresh from their campaign of pirate slaughter, then cut the agave into quarters for cooking. The chopped agave is transferred to a brick oven where it's cooked for 79 hours, and half of the batch is then sold off to Bridgestone as off-road tires. The baked agave fiber is completely fucking destroyed, and then the leftover refuse is built into a summoning circle to honor an ancient Aztecian curse.
What? I'm sorry.
In this circle, a giant stone wheel called Tu Madre Gorda crushes the agave refuse to extract its nectar. I would tell you what this area is for, but I don't speak Spanish. I mean, this whole script is in Spanish. I've just been making this up as I go along. Oh, God, what the hell is happening?
Motherfucker, stop reading tequila!
Why is he smelling that? I don't think that guy even works here. Okay, come on, now you're just teasing me. Okay, I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that this room is for distillation. So the alcohol is boiled off so the vapor can be condensed into a more potent liquid.
Oh god.
God, I hope that's right. An employee slips some government-mandated anthrax into the batch.
What?
The tequila is now ready to drink, so it's over to the bottling line.
Tequila. This is Bill's
For a
cousin
drink with a bit more complexity, the tequila is aged in oak casks and then inspected by a 1970s time traveler.
What is this haircut? It looks like you could turn him upside down and put him in a mop bucket and just mop the floor with his head.
The stress of his job, combined with the fact that he missed
That's a
seeing
wig.
his son grow up,
That is so
takes
fucking a
very
wig.
heavy toll.
He's wearing a wig. There's no way that man has that head of hair. He was wearing a wig during this. That's a wig! It's Bill with a wig. You right.
Hens don't have to mate to lay
Eggs!
As long as there's no rooster in the vicinity, the eggs will remain unfertilized and edible.
Okay, what does it say? YouTube's copyright detection is an absolute joke. Please enjoy the video in the corner of the screen. This is how resolution format is how I am forced to show this video to you to get around a faulty and exploded copyright detection system.
The color of the
Hats
shell
off,
is
bro.
determined by the breed of hen, but there's no pecking order when it comes to shell color. White or brown, all eggs are the same inside. The action begins in the hen prison, where chickens begin laying eggs when they're 19 days old.
What?
The building is well insulated, ensuring the temperature hovers around a comfortable 120 degrees. To stimulate laying, fluorescent lighting simulates 23 hours of daylight.
I'm just jamming to the music at this point.
Hens that can't lay enough eggs within this period are ground into food mulch and then fed to the other chickens to promote cost efficiency. The hens drink Gatorade from tubes attached to their cages, providing them with the electrolytes they need to power through the day. The eggs laid by the chickens slide onto a conveyor belt.
They slide.
Which takes them to a conveyor belt. Which takes them to a conveyor belt.
Oh my god.
Which takes them to a
conveyor belt.
Some eggs are covered with hen droppings upon retrieval. These eggs are separated and then shipped to markets to be sold as organic. The eggs are placed into plastic holders and shipped to a grading center, which will judge the eggs by quality.
Oh god.
The best grade A eggs end up in supermarket shelves. The rest are brought to the local recycling center, where they are mashed together into high-quality motor oil.
What? Motherfucker.
This factory is high-tech and high-speed, able to process up to 1,000 eggs per year.
Oh my god.
First, a suction machine transfers the eggs out of their holders and slightly nauseates anyone who looks at it for too long.
I mean, I am getting a bit nauseous. He's not wrong.
Once transferred, a special incubation machine stimulates the embryo inside the egg, causing it to spring to life and writhe within its exo-womb.
Ah, I see an
Shortly
organic
after,
egg
the
mixed in
eggs
there.
are superheated to near molten temperatures, which liquefies the life inside, producing the egg's signature runny texture.
I don't know how I feel about that.
During the entire process, the NSA surveils the eggs, in case any of them try to reform ISIS after hatching.
What?
Finally, the eggs are placed into cartons and sold as decorations to be painted around Easter time, since eggs serve absolutely no other purpose.
I mean, yeah. Rubber bands!
The rubber band was invented in England in the middle of the 19th century.
I thought he was going to say in the middle of the night.
Of course, is flexibility. A rubber band can be stretched around items of various shapes and sizes to hold them together. So in the rubber band industry, the possibilities for expansion are numerous. Rubber bands come in handy for a whole bunch of things, whether it's acting as a binding, a snack food, or a weapon. Production of rubber bands starts.
Did he just say a snack food? Are there people that eat rubber bands? I mean, I know there's people that eat markers, but like, are there people that eat rubber bands? Because he said edible, bruh.
It's with natural rubber, made from the sap of rubber trees. Natural rubber has more elasticity.
Why can't rubber bands hold my parents' marriage together? It's not strong enough for that.
So it will always be used in production. A worker pours rubber processing oil into a kneader machine because it's so.
Why do you think I am the way I am? Ew, what?
He adds mustard and sugar for taste, while Kyle in the background looks for his lost surfboard. He forgets to unwrap the rubber's packaging as he feeds several pounds of it into the kneader machine.
Oh my god.
The rubber is, of course, naturally elastic and bounces around like an unruly 7-year-old. This process generates heat, which both softens the rubber and explains why there was a random shirtless man in the previous shot. The kneader spits out giant dough chunks. The rubber is now depressing to look at, so it's thrown into a smoothing machine that transforms into a much more optimistic shape. This process is purely done to reduce suicide rates among rubber factory workers. Then, the rubber is rolled into big, twisty tubes, entirely undoing the previous rolling processes.
What the fuck?
This may seem bizarre.
It looks like taffy.
But rubber is actually manufactured in reverse, as demonstrated here, with the rubber being retrofitted back into the previously mentioned rubber trees.
What?
Next, these aluminum poles have arrived from a nearby factory and require a rubber coating before being sent out to distribution. This is because the poles are smart and know when it comes to the market to always wrap it before they tap it. As for the white powder, don't ask. The tubes are loaded into a torpedo
It's Mill's brother-in-law
and to protect the factory in case of thieves.
Oh my god. Ooh.
Workers peel the rubber off the poles and then give them a milk bath to infuse them with calcium.
What?
Without calcium, the rubber would be too brittle for daily use, since calcium helps build strong bones. The tubes are fed into a cutting machine and... oh, looks like one of those aluminum poles from earlier had a pretty good night. With this system, the factory can produce 500,000 rubber bands per hour, and yet still somehow can't manage to bring my wife back to me.
I don't think that's that fault. Holy shit.
After inspection, all that's left is the credits, which signify the end of the episode, and are my cue to stop talking.
He has the same problem. I think that's
Porcelain is often called China after the
China?
country that invented it more than 1,200 years ago.
I like
it
China.
Looks delicate, but is actually the hardest type of ceramic
We
material.
have some nice China.
It's even used in electrical insulators because it withstands very high heat. But most people think of China as decorative. China as we know it today was invented in 1949 when communist revolutionary leader Mao Zedong officially declared its creation following the Chinese Civil War, as seen in this sketch. China's government today follows a mold and plaster model. Any new laws are created on a negative made of plaster to test their shape and effectiveness in government policy. The three current rulers of China are legendary Shaolin warriors, Feldspith, Kalen, and Quartz. Each of their soul is imbued in each bit of Chinese manufacturing.
Oh, Jesus.
The national sport of China is called filling the oddly shaped bucket. Here we see the trophy for first prize, hidden inside the lucky winner's bucket.
Oh god. That looks cool though.
Toilets in China are very, very tiny, because 95% of Chinese people don't have an anus. The 5% who do are known as...
What? Oh shit.
butt boys.
Why? Bro.
In an emergency, these tiny toilets can often...
That explains a lot, apparently.
After viewing this footage, please remind me to teach you about sexual education in China.
Oh no. Why is he touching it like that? Stop it!
In China, time is measured via a hole punch system. Right now, it's about 12 o'clock.
What?
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Sunyi. Now we'll never know what fucking time it is.
Thanks a lot, Sunyi.
Technology in China has advanced far enough to create living robots. Here you can see them bleed, sweat, and die. If you feel bad for the robot who was just killed and had his face fashioned into a dinner plate, don't. He was a racist.
Oh shit.
Homes in China are uncomfortably cramped, containing nearly 30 pieces of decorative ceramics per citizen.
Oh my god.
Here we see a Chinese citizen moving to a new, more open concept home.
Oh shit.
Waterboarding never went out of style in China, but even more popular is witchcraft. This woman is casting a spell for more ceramic pots.
Til's sisters, brothers, uncles, and cousins' roommate Will. They're Chinese citizen.
The wealthy aren't all that much more impressive than the common folk.
The
only difference being that their decorative ceramics are shinier.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
As seen here, the internet in China is very rudimentary and only used for text communication. And now, as an added bonus, please enjoy China's oldest magic trick.
What the fuck?
The solid rubber tires.
Solid tires.
For off-road conditions such as
I need new
construction
tires.
sites, landfills, and
need
warehouses. These areas are full of hazards that would flatten ordinary air-filled tires. But solid tires don't go flat. They just keep on turning. And that's a good thing on any job site.
I mean, yeah.
Solid rubber tires come in a variety of flavors and are ideal for heavy work due to their complex manufacturing process.
Don't eat the tires, stupid.
It all starts with two-dimensional rubber, which is fed into a 3D printer, which converts it into three-dimensional rubber.
What?
Is melded into the beast from the chocolate episode, and then rolled into a mass known as the polished turd.
What? What did he just say? There's real catfish.
Next, a local serial killer extracts the premium flesh from the rolled rubber, spinning it onto a steel base.
Oh. No, thank you.
Slices of rubber are taken off to be taste tested by the employees.
No, don't do that.
The newly solid tire is broken in by being used as a piñata and then moved to the next stage.
Oh god.
The tire is put into a mold, covered to prevent heat loss, and placed with many other tires onto a conveyor belt oven at about 350 degrees for 1 hour.
Jesus.
Exiting the oven, the tires are shown to neighboring factories to display
What was
how well
part-time
the
taste
business is doing, and then they're removed from their molds.
How did they
by
taste?
hand.
What was the texture, like rubbery?
This tire is dead.
This tire is dead. Oh my god.
The remaining tires are then coated in liquid rubber, which both helps seal in any remaining
It looks
cracks
like
and looks
cheesecakes.
like
They really do.
straight-up dookie.
It looks like a cake. I want to eat it.
Workers spread the liquid rubber and then comb it to give the tires fashionable hairdos, just in time for the school dance.
I want to eat it.
Okay, let's get this car thing going.
This tire tried to
It played twice.
and must be euthanized.
Thank you for the super
By
chat.
now, so much of the processed rubber for the tire production has been wasted on
Thank
trivial
you.
bullshit that this is all that remains. The small amount of rubber is poured into a wooden casing shaped like the finished product to prevent employees from wasting even more
That's
of the precious
right
material.
towards old yellering my
The
car.
wooden casing is then fashioned into a boat paddle, because no one ever thinks to look for treasure inside a boat paddle.
Boat paddle? What?
The shop owner then fashions himself a second decoy boat paddle, in case someone, for some reason, thinks of looking for treasure inside a boat paddle.
Oh my god. Now they know the secret.
In Canadian, this logo means decoy, furthering the ruse.
In Canadian! Made in Canada.
Finally, after a long aging process, the casing is broken open, revealing the finished tire. Honey is Winnie the Pooh's favorite treat.
It is.
It's sweet and sticky, and it's produced by an industrious insect whose miniature society is one of the most sophisticated in the animal kingdom. It all begins in a field where worker bees suck nectar from flower blossoms such as rhododendron. They store it in their testicles, then return it to their hive where they...
It sure is beautiful. What do you mean? I'm not that tiny. Shut up.
ejaculate it for the other honeybees to chew on it.
Oh
This
my
breaks down the
God.
nectar's complex sugars into two simple sugars, glucose and Splenda.
What?
The bees then vomit the chewed substance into cells of their wax honeycomb because they realize what they've been chewing on. Over time, this honey is meticulously crafted into a tremendous work of architectural and chemical ingenuity, which means it's the perfect opportunity for the beekeeper to step in and ruin everything. Bees will sting if taken by surprise, so most beekeepers spray the colony with marijuana smoke to calm them down.
That always works. The marijuana.
Inside the hive are wooden frames. Normally they're coated with honey, but this one unfortunately has been infested with bees.
Oh no!
The only rule of being a beekeeper is to not directly touch the bees.
I've seen bee
Don't
people
worry,
touch
folks,
the bees.
this man is actually a fireman, not a beekeeper. The honeycomb slats are removed from the hive and brought to the factory, where any straggling bees are liquefied.
When do we get to the courtroom?
To a giant pulsating blade.
When do we see the bees suing humans? When does that part of the video come on?
The honey is squeegeed for clarity, and then put into a machine called a honey extractor. Honey doesn't taste good unless it's spun around a lot. It's true. We don't know why it's true, but it is.
You
so
spin
please don't
me
write
right
into us
round.
asking why it's true.
Live action bee movie.
Some beehives deliver fully made honeycomb to the factory as an offering to spare their habitats. This offering, while convenient, is never enough. A hot press machine turns the honeycomb into sugar wafers.
I like wafers. Oh my god, makes me want to bite it.
The beeswax lining of the honeycomb will go on to be used as optical illusions you will find on clickbait websites. Sometimes, if the manufacturer cannot meet market demand, high fructose corn syrup will be shipped in, bottled, and sold under the same label.
What?
Finally, the honey
Granted,
is
honey
siphoned
was
into
used as a
jars, which are
disinfectant. Oh my
transported to your
God.
local supermarket.
Yeah.
Who painstakingly transport all the honey by hand into those tiny little plastic bear containers.
What? Bruh. Oh my god, the way it bounced back when it got filled. Horses! Or hoses? Is that a horse? Hold on. Okay, it's horse. I thought that... I fucking forgot how to spell horses. That didn't look like it said horses. Oh my god.
Displaying a life-size horse makes a galloping statement at a farm, racetrack, or a Western-themed venue.
Okay.
Some horse owners even commission a replica of their favorite animal.
Uh-huh. Okay.
A life-size horse can be an attraction, but before the horse
Holy
as we
shit.
know it, 55 million years ago, was an animal known as the Hyracotherium, as seen here.
Oh my.
The
Is that
Hyracotherium
horse
evolved
semen?
into the modern horse over millions of years, adapting to predators, competitors, and environmental conditions, in a process similar to the one shown here.
I wonder how long it's going to take her to realize. Realize what? What? What do you mean?
Around 5,000
What do you mean? To realize what? The horse is ripped. Your mom's ripped. What do you mean? To realize what? What am I supposed to realize? It's plastic horses that they're making. No? That's what they're making is the plastic horses? I'm not crazy. That's what they're making. I don't know what you mean. How long is it going to take her to realize? What do you mean? You can't just say that. Who's that behind you? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
years ago, humans began to domesticate horses so they could ride them for transportation, which began the formulation of horse-centered human cultures, like this one shown here. Soon, horses became the norm for transportation, leading to the invention of horse accessories such as stirrups, saddles, and chariots, all of which are being made in this factory, as seen here. Horses were then selectively bred for characteristics such as maneuverability, speed, gentleness, and strength, leading to more than 300
I don't like how they're touching
breeds existing today, a handful of which can be seen here.
I don't like how they're handling it. I don't like this!
Workhorse use dropped dramatically after the invention of the steam engine, which could perform the same tasks at a much quicker and more efficient pace. Even still, engine power is measured in horsepower, a testament to the horse's widespread use. This typical engine here has about 120 horsepower. Horses also have their use as raw materials, with a horse's meat, hide, bones, and hooves all being used in hundreds of different products, which you can learn about if you remember to subscribe to this channel. The steps to do so are demonstrated here.
No. No. No.
Finally, after all of this, the horse is made.
No. No, no, no.
Oh,
Aww.
wait, those aren't real horses.
No, they're plastic.
Fuck, never mind.
Crayons!
It's hard
I
not
like
to
crayons.
wax philosophical about crayons. The average North American kid uses 730 of them by the age of 10.
Did
An
you guys
American
ever shove
chemical
crayons
company
up your
invented
nose?
crayons in 1903. It took the basic wax crayon it already made for marking crates and barrels and came up with a non-toxic version. Yellow-orange crayons are made from a variety of waxes.
No, you're shoving them
primarily
up your
paraffin,
nose. You're not
which
eating
is
them.
ideal because paraffin itself is already yellow-orange. If new colors of crayons are invented, then this will be a problem.
What? No, why not?
The wax is melted
Were you
until
not
it
cool
goes
as a
from
kid?
looking kind of buttery to straight up unappetizing. Then, a secret powder
I
is
remember-
added to the
I
crayon
remember-
as we question the competency of rose art.
I remember
because here we are
shoving
showing their
crayons
supposedly secret powder to
and
our
sniffing
cameras.
markers. That's what I remember.
Yellow and red are blended into the wax, creating the perfect blend for yellow-orange crayons. These colors here will never be crayons, so they have been censored to maintain your viewing enjoyment.
Okay.
The wax is blended until it solidifies and is pumped into a device.
I thought you were gonna
called
end
a
that sentence with, what do you mean?
It injects the wax into crayon-shaped molds and douses them with water to harden the wax. We lost the footage of this segment, so please enjoy this footage of Mars.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, they're destroying Mars. Those animals.
That's crazy.
The machine carefully and delicately vomits the crayons onto a conveyor belt. One by one, they file into the grooves of the world's coolest gun,
Oh
the
my God.
X-12 Mega Revolver. This is the same gun that was used to assassinate Presidents James Garfield and William McKinley at the same time.
What?
The gun's action is coincidentally perfect for adhering the labels to the crayons.
Oh my god.
The
crayons are made out of
snipped
Mars,
away across the
confirmed,
assembly
honestly.
line, fall onto a conveyor belt and land in a box. Workers sort the yellow-orange crayons and unrelated colored wax failures into their
Blue.
respective hoppers.
Blue was the one I shoved up my nose quite frequently. I don't know why. I think I just liked blue.
The yellow-orange crayons are sorted into their respective boxes, while the non-crayon related colored wax is sorted, so that the nearby recycling center will have an easier time throwing it away.
Don't worry about it.
Crayons are typically shipped in boxes with missing children's pictures on them.
What?
So far, this effort has found
None.
0 missing children. Throughout the ages, men have used condoms made from an amazing variety of materials, from simple cloth and oil paper to tortoise shells and animal horns. But don't ask me.
No, I got high off the markers.
Anyway, thankfully today, we can stay safe without having to don dead animal parts.
You know when they're like that, they look like, what's the top of the part of, holy fuck. What is that top of that piece called for the bottle? Oh shit. Like, oh, what's it called? It's gonna drive me mental. Like yeah. Is that what it's called? Is that what it is? That's what it reminds me of.
The rubber condom was invented
That's
in
what
the
it reminds me of.
mid-19th century. Today, most are made out of natural latex rubber, which is strong, thin, and more aggressive.
This is what it looks
the
like.
condom factory begins with the world's largest chainsaw, which transfers glass condom molds across the assembly line.
What?
The molds are first doused with lube and then battered continuously with a spinning brush to help simulate the textures of a human vagina. The molds then move to a separate station, where they're dipped in an aftermath tank to get them used to the sensation of being used. The insides of the molds are also filled up, to get a reverse perspective on how things feel post-coitus.
Coitus?
These molds here are deluxe models, which can fit up to 5 penises. The condoms go through an oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. When they come out, the latex is cured, but full of civil disobedience. A quick blast from a fire hose keeps them in line. The residue from this public outcry
that looks so bad.
Cottage cheese.
Oh, it does look like
because
cottage
we're
cheese.
short on stock footage, we filled this industrial dryer with some milk.
Ew. What?
Meanwhile, back at the lab, scientists continue to engineer harder, better, faster, and stronger condoms, such as this one trying to obtain super strength.
And they still suck.
Or these condoms, trying to obtain flight. Wait, I'm sorry, this is actually the condoms with really bizarre fetishes. Then there's the water leakage test, because most human males have ejaculation volumes comparable to horses.
Is that true,
Condoms
guys?
are
Can you
also
confirm or
great for
deny?
arts and crafts. Nearly every single condom this factory makes is eventually chosen at random to be slaughtered, in an effort to prove that
How do you know?
God
How do
has
I know what?
abandoned us. The condoms that survive are tested on robots before being shipped out, because as you can see, robot sex is very kinky. The condoms are then flushed for quality assurance and arrive at the
Quality
packaging
assurance.
station, where they're inserted into boxes. But you wouldn't know anything about
the
that,
strength of
would
rubber.
you?
A lot of my friends got pregnant, and they all used one, but they're still pregnant. So clearly, it doesn't fucking work.
Talk
Soap
about raising
bars.
the bar. The widespread use of
I love
soap
soap
has
bars.
elevated our standards. Soap fights grime, and it battles dangerous pathogens. It makes the world a more hygienic place. So you could say, this product's reputation is squeaky clean.
Oh my god.
Soap bars come in a variety of flavors, from toxic to non-toxic.
What do you mean non-toxic?
Most popular luxury
All soap
items.
is toxic if you consume it.
It all starts in an active volcano, where a pipe has been installed to
No, that's how you
pour
get diseases.
Gatorade
You
into
use the same
molten
one,
lava,
diseases.
increasing its electrolyte levels. Once the lava is fully supercharged, it's shipped off to the wonderful peaks of Aspen, Colorado, where it is cooled and
99.9% of the time, they don't work. Take it from one of my friends, who she's as old as me. No, actually, she's a year younger than me because I'm going to be 28 this year. I think she's going to be 27. But she has 5 kids. And she used one every fucking time. And she still has 5 kids.
chemical reactions turn it into soap. The soap is money shot all over a big metal roll where it quickly solidifies and is cut into ribbons by a large industrial blade.
Ew. I don't like that.
The ribbons
No,
plunge into
obviously
a
not the
hopper, where
same
an
one,
auger moves the
stupid.
sauerkraut, the soap, down a chute. Hey Steve, I think we gotta do another one. I said sauerkraut again. The soap ribbons fall through a chute, tasting a bit of sweet, sweet freedom before immediately being pulverized by 2 industrial rollers. This squash soap product is cut by another steel blade, creating denser soap ribbons.
And she's a year younger than me. And she has 5 kids. And I have none.
Is pushed by yet another
the only thing I have is a very annoying
an
niece.
extruder called a noodle plate, which forms it into soap noodles.
My grandpa have
Don't
like
worry,
13
folks.
siblings.
Only about 17
My
more augers and shapes to go
Mama
before
Night, my
we
mother,
actually have some soap
has,
bars.
including her, there's 5. But then my grandparents have 12 grandkids. So I mean, like,
hole, which dumps them into
and I think they're close to 12 great grandkids now. But
workers add concentrated soap to help clean.
A lot of people have kids, very young, and have a lot.
Terrifying steel blades stir up the soap to get consistent coloring. More Gatorade is eventually added to the soap as it's probably dying of thirst by now. When the soap is ready, a trapdoor opens to reveal, surprise, another goddamn noodle plate.
Surprise! Noodle plate.
The soap is formed into individual bricks, where it moves on to the next stage.
Is younger than my daughter?
A mechanical
oh my god!
arm pushes the soap bars through an oval plate.
Because they're awesome, free labor. No.
Life, sometimes you've got to force a square.
Bruh, I can't get my niece to do
hole.
shit. I can't get my niece to do fucking shit. I ask her to do one thing for me, and it's like the end of the fucking world.
Steel plates shape, stamp, and sort the soap cylinders, shipping their supple, slippery, soft bodies to be sensational.
I can't even bribe that kid either.
See? The oval soap bars are wrapped, sealed, and boxed, and yet no matter how many you buy, you'll never be clean.
Fair enough. What's next? Ice cream. This is gonna ruin ice cream for me. I know it. I just know it. I can see it already.
To make ice cream treats, you first have to make the ice cream.
No shit. Captain Obvious.
It all begins with liquid ice. The factory stores it in refrigerated silos set just a few degrees above freezing.
That looks so bad.
The silos feed a high-speed mixer, which combines the ice.
Did I make my grandma?
Dried.
Nah, you're good. You corrected yourself. You're good.
The only other ingredient is sugar. This much sugar is the amount used for just one ice cream.
Semen.
After about 3 minutes of mixing, this batch has been deemed a failure. and is sealed away
Just like
for
your mom.
eternity, protecting
Hello.
all of mankind.
Hi.
This worker here has a death wish.
This worker here has a
Successful
death
batches
wish.
of ice cream are heated and stirred to kill bacteria until they become roughly 70% sanitized,
Jesus.
indicating they're now fit for human consumption.
Oh my god. You screwed up again. You're good.
Concentrated vanilla
No
flavoring
worries.
is added. The concoction is chilled, whipped for about 15 seconds, and the finished product is lovingly dumped onto our big metal slab because our
Ew.
production crew was too stupid to remember to get a bowl.
Very stupid. It's bold.
Ice cream sandwich wafers are made out of chocolate cake ingredients and were originally meant to be an edible stand-in for playing cards. Thanks to this design, the ice cream is placed between wafers using a shuffling machine, which, once decommissioned, will be integrated into the back room of many Las Vegas casinos.
Oh my god.
The sandwiches
get
will now be
hurt.
wrapped, but first they delicately scrape bits from an incredibly rusty and unsafe packaging machine, enhancing their flavor.
Oh my god.
Finally, you may be surprised to hear this, but the ice cream sandwiches are loaded into boxes.
Oh wow, really? I had no idea. Holy shit. That's crazy.
On another line, ice cream cone production is underway.
How do they do the cones? That's my question.
A feeder drops pre-wrapped sugar cones into a holder on a conveyor belt.
Mm-hmm.
Hot grease is added to the inside of the cone to help lubricate the ice cream once it makes it to the entrance.
Don't say lubricate. My god.
Next, nozzles squirt out the ice cream. Half the production line receives chocolate ice cream, and the other half receives Elmer's glue. Part of the fun is finding out which flavor you get.
Elmer, imagine getting Elmer's
The
glue.
most arousing part of the production line, an injection of hot liquid caramel.
Just the tip.
I stand corrected. The actual most arousing part of the production is the chocolate-flavored liquid topping squirter. Then the finishing touch, the mystery ingredient, sponsored by Purina.
Purina. Oh my god.
Gold is the softest,
Gold!
most malleable metal. It can be pressed extremely thin, crafted into various shapes,
You're gonna be rich,
even
guys.
drawn out to form a fine wire, and all without breaking. Gold isn't affected by water or oxygen as many metals are, so it doesn't rust or tarnish either. Gold is actually a nickname for an element known as Bufur.
What?
This here is Bufur deposit number 212.
What?
Bufur is mined out of what are called lode deposits, or vein deposits, concentrations of Bufur and other metals in the cracks of rocks. Gold requires hard rock blasting, which is the process of
You're gonna
removing
blast this
gold-bearing
ass.
rock, called ore, from the earth by drilling and blasting.
Blasting
This
this
is all
ass.
done, of course, in a mine!
Wow, a
In
mine!
the mine, workers drill air holes for explosives, with what's called a drill that makes air holes for explosives machine drill.
What a name.
Here's a sample of some ore taken from a gold mine. This ore's flavor is cookies and cream. The company collects these samples
I like
by
cookies
drilling
and cream.
deep
Come
in the rock.
on!
An expert geologist is routinely called in to inspect them. After hours of study, he can safely conclude that this is a rock.
Wow.
This
That's
is
crazy.
a map of everywhere in the world gold has been discovered.
What?
Unfortunately, according to this map, New Zealand still exists.
Damn it!
Workers are quick to point this out, taunting the viewers. Down below in the mine, workers use a machine called a mucker to move rocks and recreate their favorite episodes of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Through this, the rocks are loaded.
How did he pronounce that? Hold on. How did he pronounce it?
And recreate their favorite episodes of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Did he just call it Evangelion? What?
Through this, the rocks are loaded and transported topside. Back at the mill, the rock stock rocks and knocks around the clock till it looks like chalk. Chock full
Jesus.
of flocks of blocks. Chemicals lock into the dock, pulping the rock
Why?
into schlock.
Even
To turn this pulp into gold, you need a specific chemical cocktail. Pasteurized earth. Powdered fire.
your mom's ashes.
Dried water. Concentrated wind. And of course, sodium nitrate.
Ooh.
This mix, called 10-lap Niet Pack, helps cleanse the gold of any looters and polluters when it's being smelted. A blind man is put in charge of watching the smelting process, since his eyesight will not be damaged by the intense flames.
Yeah, not at
The
all.
smelter is rotated to keep any would-be
Look at my
thieves
ass
at
after
bay.
fucking Taco Bell.
Sometimes some liquid gold is poured out for any workers who are feeling thirsty.
Ooh.
After cooling slightly, the gold is dumped into bar-shaped molds, and the fire rages out of control.
Oh my god.
This concoction seen here is known as deadly pudding, and takes roughly 5 hours to fully cool into a solid gold bar. You
Imagine
the
having to wait
gold
that
is
long for a solid gold
99%
bar.
pure when it weighs more than a set of gold weights.
That's crazy. Aquarium fish? What?
Aquariums have been around for hundreds of years.
Have they?
Even now, having a body of water in a glass box seems like magic. The most common aquarium fish is the goldfish, domesticated in China more than 1,000 years ago.
What?
Goldfish are a type of carp known for their love of crowded, compact, and bare environments. They tend to be silver or gray in color, but will sometimes turn gold if they are sick, hence the name goldfish. Like
you
all
reading
fish,
this off of
goldfish
Wikipedia?
start their lives as eggs, but only strong goldfish.
They
are
manufacture
suited for the
fish! I
public.
knew it!
Goldfish are
Look at this
squeezed
bit!
by
Look at her!
workers shortly after hatching.
Look at her manhandle the fish, bro. Fuck.
Hatching to determine their strength. A weak goldfish
Ew.
will not be able to resist, and
Ew.
their guts will pop out.
That's-
Kill-
Isn't that baby fish? Isn't that's not the that fish was pregnant? I think.
killing them instantly.
Oh my god. Easy.
Meanwhile, the strong goldfish are forced to mate with each other, helping to breed stronger and stronger
Is that how fish fuck? What?
goldfish. The fertilized eggs are placed into separate containers.
Huh?
A muscular bodybuilder blows carbon dioxide into the fish egg containers off camera, helping them to grow up big and strong like he is. A week later, the eggs hatch and try to impregnate the first thing they see.
Pregnate.
The hatchlings are called fry, and not all of them are the typical gold color.
I see
Even
black
after
ones.
centuries of breeding, fish breeders have yet to produce a completely gold fish. Those dumbasses. As the fry increase in size, they're taken on a trip to a fish water park.
Ooh. A fish water park. Wow.
The fish are then carefully and delicately sorted by size.
Here's the bitch again, manhandling the fish.
The fish are transferred to a plastic bag for
I figure out
transportation.
how it's made. Wait, so they... Oh my god.
A worker
So
adds
aggressive.
helium to the bag so it will float away to its destination. At the factory, workers check to make sure the fish are happy. Unhappy fish
How
are
can you
sometimes
tell
provided
if
a
they're
shot of
unhappy?
rum to calm their surly tempers.
Shot of rum.
If the goldfish drink enough rum, they
It's alien
eventually
blood.
metamorphosize into koi, which are a larger, equally Asian type of fish.
What?
A worker isolates a group of koi with a tiny net. The tiny net is surefire.
I couldn't even
a tiny
step
net
in
is
there.
a death sentence. It is a net, and it's tiny.
Stop manhandling the fish. I don't like it.
It's time to prepare the goldfish for sorting.
Oh my god.
But first, the workers must be
So
compensated.
fucking aggressive with them.
They're given their pick of the litter for a fine bowl of goldfish soup, and then the rest are shipped off to the market.
I'm sorry!
To help
What?
prepare the fish for travel, they're dipped in a green solution and then rinsed. The green solution contains a chemical to help reduce stress during transport. Okay guys, off the record, that green stuff is totally liquid weed. But don't tell the Science Channel, it'll cut our funding again.
Liquid weed.
Next, a worker adds oxygen to the bag, so the fish have plenty to breathe during shipping.
Dude, that bitch just squished them.
Then, another worker squeezes some air out of the bag, because this factory is entirely mismanaged.
Oh,
Finally, the fish are jammed into a styrofoam box, which helps insulate their screams of terror once the cannabis wears off.
Oh no.
In the American Wild
Revolvers.
West, the gun ruled. And
Revolvers.
that gun was usually a 6-shooter revolver.
Revolvers.
Today, replicas of those revolvers can take you
Revolvers.
back to Dodge City. And they do so at cowboy shooting competitions.
How the heck do they make
It's a chance to
revolvers?
engage in a little old-fashioned gunslinging, for old time's sake. Used here to demonstrate the proper way to fire a gun, the 1873 Colt was carried by the likes of Jesse James. They start these revolvers by shaping the gun's frame. We won't be showing you how this part is made because we have to edit it out for time. A computerized blade carves the cylinder. If a cylinder comes out to be dimensionally perfect, it is hoisted up as the king of cylinders. A technician uses their most precise and advanced techniques to file down the pieces so they'll fit together perfectly.
That's crazy.
Hitting them with a tiny hammer is one of the industry's best trade secrets.
Oh, fuck.
Once the technician confirms the gun's potential historical value, he ruins it by engraving his gamer tag on the frame as well as stamping his streaming URL on the barrel.
Oh, no.
To add a bit of flourish, an artist engraves the gun, which provides no tactical advantage whatsoever.
No, but it looks pretty.
Another worker delicately lowers the parts into a vat of molten salts.
Oh my
But
god.
upon hearing that his pension plan has been cut, he slams the parts into a vat of cold water and storms out of the factory. As you can see, the metal parts are now tarnished and ruined. But the factory has a quota to make, so they continue production.
Hell yeah.
Now it's time to install the cylinder that holds the cartridges. Little known fact, these cylinders are made of pure zebra teeth, which are known for their combination of durability and flexibility.
Do zebras even have teeth?
Most revolvers hold 6 shots, which is more than enough to kill anything that moves.
That's how many shots it takes to get your mom into bed for me.
A worker then tests that the alignment of all the gun parts is correct, using a special rod that also helps him try to alleviate his sexual frustration.
What?
He tightens the barrel to the gun frame, and then jams a stick all up in there because, I don't know, whatever.
Why not? Why not?
The technician reenacts his favorite high school fantasies and then installs the hammer, trigger, and ammunition ejection rod.
Do they? Do zebras have teeth?
He installs a spring to give the gun its cocking action, and then tests it using a Special Forces-style tactical cocking action.
Oh my god.
Another spring is attached to the grip, which transfers energy to the hammer for it to fire. Before this spring was implemented in modern gun design, cowboys fired their guns by whacking the back of the grip as hard as they could.
I didn't know.
Then it's off to a government testing facility, where the gun is test-fired behind bulletproof glass. You can't see it very well in this shot, but on the other side of that hole are hundreds of communist revolutionaries. This revolver is now ready for its target market. People who have about 30 other guns already.
The horses have teeth. Yes, I think. I want to say yes. Diamonds! Oh, we're gonna be hella rich.
Diamonds are a flash
Does
of
popcorn come from
brilliance
corn?
Mother
No, it comes
Nature.
from my ass cheeks.
Formed in the Earth's crust by intense heat and pressure, they're prized for their crystalline beauty. But now, Mother Nature has some
Do
serious
wolf
competition
bat things
because
have
gem
teeth?
quality diamonds
I don't even know
are
what that
actually
is.
being grown in laboratories.
Did your mom have a
Diamonds
cavernous
grown in labs are
coochie?
very
Probably.
shiny, except the ones that aren't. Lower grade diamonds, also known as rocks, are often grown for industrial use and look incredibly shiny compared to a number 2 pencil. It all starts with a robotic laser, which slices chunks off the end of ordinary hex nuts.
Nut.
The intense heat and slicing power creates small diamond wafers. The diamond is intensely hot from the laser, so it
Hello.
blackens a bit.
How do?
Workers place the diamond wafer onto a metal block, and thermal paste is added to help cool it down to a stable temperature.
Jesus Christ.
After brushing the thermal paste on using proper amounts and application, the block is screwed onto a threaded arm and brought into a game of industrial hungry hippos.
Industrial hungry hippo.
Weights are applied to make sure no one pussies out mid-game.
Yeah, guys, you're not allowed to pussy out.
The winner of the game is polished into being crystal clear, and is now ready for a steampunk wannabe to create the world's most expensive waffle. From there, the diamond slivers are placed onto a metal slab in a specific pattern, and locked inside an interrogation room.
Oh no. Not the interrogation room.
The diamond wafers are then shown photos of unsolved cold cases from around the world, and
I
are
know.
bombarded by many leading questions. This causes the diamonds to change shape from the intense heat and pressure.
Jesus.
After just 2 weeks, the diamond slivers become a miraculous pile of worthless rocks.
Wow.
In a desperate bid to fix their mistake, the factory dabs superglue on the end of a shiny steel rod, and then affixes the ruined diamond to it, hoping this will confuse buyers into thinking it's one giant diamond. Since no one on Earth is possibly that stupid, the diamond failure is put back into the laser capsule to be destroyed. Through sheer dumb luck, the laser destruction process exposes a near-flawless gem hidden beneath.
Playground gravel. What?
A technician readies a gun on the hidden diamond in case this act
What?
goes against the will of God.
Oh my god.
After deeming it safe, the diamond rock is set on a polishing wheel to give it its classic diamond shape, wasting a good 30% of the diamond. And after just a couple weeks, a man-made diamond is ready to be sold to people who, like Neanderthals, think a very shiny rock is actually worth something. Ooga booga booga.
Ooga booga, booga booga, ooga booga.
Bricks. Oh my
Those
god.
three little pigs knew what they were doing when they built that brick house. Not only are bricks wolf-proof, they're also fireproof, weatherproof, and pest-resistant. No wonder they're one of the world's
Feels like
oldest
diamonds when you fall off the
building
monkey bars.
materials.
Bro, the playgrounds
Bricks
where
are
I grew
often
up were
made of
filled with
shale, a lightweight
wood
rock
chips.
That's made
I don't think
from
we had
bricks.
gravel.
Quarry machines dig into the earth to find brick that they can grind down into shale for use in brick making. The shale is exposed to the elements and given a cold shower to weaken it for processing.
Oh my god.
A big stone wheel grinds the shale into powdered brick, or prick for short. The powder goes to the milling station, which mixes it
All
with
cement?
liquefied brick
Jesus,
and
you must have had a lot of
vaporized brick
concussions.
particles in the air to make sure the resulting brick paste is as bricky as a brick can get.
Bricky as a brick can get. That's
Then,
crazy.
through an extruder, the brick paste is forced to conform to a rigid rectangular shape. The crusty
they freeze
top
it to
layer
guys
is
in the
shaved
winter
off
sounds right.
and presented by the employee with the most immaculate fingernails.
Oh my god.
If this paste is fired as is, it will form red bricks. So the factory coats the bricks with oxidized sand to help them fire into their most popular color, red.
Ooh.
Next, a textured roller applies a pattern to the surface of the brick, because the housewives making outdoor crafts with these bricks that care about such a stupid detail want them to be ribbed for their pleasure.
Oh my god.
Then a large knife guillotines the brick into bite-sized pieces. You might be wondering where those 3 holes in the brick came from. Well, too bad. I'm not going to tell you. Out of each cut length, they cut 20 individual bricks,
Lord, that
with 2
makes
of
his
them
content funny
spilling
and
over onto the
entertaining.
floor
I like 'em.
because the machinery
I
inspector
like 'em.
quit this
It's fun.
morning. Next, in a performance that would rival Cirque du Soleil's "Ces fois j'ai dormi avec un brick," the bricks are
Jesus
carefully
Christ.
transported and sorted. All this time, the brick's power level is rising, so they must be stored away in a hyperbolic time chamber
What?
to learn to control their powers.
They're the main characters.
10 Earth days pass, and a worker checks on the bricks. He is shocked to see the legendary super
Red
brick.
video of his got CNN's 5 things.
The bricks
website.
warm
He made
up by
video
shooting a
about
heavy
that
metal
and
music
follow-up
video
about
of themselves,
Henry Hugo. Oh my god. Music just got intense.
and then are ready for the inspection. After many tireless hours of measuring their weight, shape, texture, color, density, buoyancy, impact resistance, taste, stackability,
Ew.
uniformity, packability, sturdiness, temperature, bounciness, and texture, the inspector can safely conclude that, yep, these are some bricks all right.
Yep.
At the heart
Candles.
of every candle
Where are
is
we
a
at
wick.
in this list? How many things does he have? Or 23. I think there was 99 in here. I don't think I'm gonna get all the way. Yeah, there's 99. I don't think I'm gonna get all 99. So you're gonna get a good chunk. Good chunk.
Wick made from woven or twisted cotton cord. To stiffen up that limp cord, they run it through a tank of liquid paraffin, a wax derived from petroleum. The cord then passes over a cooling drum, whose cold surface instantaneously hardens the wax coating. The new rigid cord winds onto a spool ready to be cut into wicks. But this video is about how candles are made, not wicks, so who gives a shit? There are several candle making methods, all of which rely on using a spoon to taste test your wax for consistency. Candle making is a very free-form process and can involve scalding your hand on a set of hot wax sprinklers, if you have no idea what you're doing. During the candle pressing method, these sprinklers shoot out hot wax into the air to solidify it, allowing the byproduct, called candle milk, to collect into a tank below.
Oh, don't call it candle milk.
Why? It travels to a hydraulic press, which presses it into candles. The hole left in the middle of the candles from this process serves no purpose whatsoever. The air in this part of the plant has to be less than 25 degrees Celsius, or the candles will spontaneously combust.
Oh my god.
And as everyone knows, candles should never be used near an open flame. Now the candles pay a visit to everyone's favorite machine for wick insertion. The newest model of the world's coolest gun.
Wow.
The X13 Ultra Revolver. Down in Uncle Larry's tickle basement, another candle making
Uncle Larry's what?
The dipping process.
What did he just say?
Wicks are loaded onto a machine that dips them into hot wax, runs them through a circuit for everyone to marvel at how cool candles are, and then dips them again.
Oh my god.
After 25 dips and circuits, the employees realize that nobody thinks candles are cool anymore, and they try to drown the evidence. While drowning, the candles turn different colors based on the intensity of their will to live, and thus colored candles are created.
No!
Meanwhile, in the Matrix, the genocide and rebirth of man is about to commence.
What is happening?
And after that, the wicking machine inserts a wick into the candles and secures them.
Oh my god, that was too good. Bro.
And yes, this entire video has been an attempt to seduce you.
No.
Is it working?
No. Mirrors! I fucking hate mirrors.
A mirror starts out as clear glass. A robot lays each panel horizontally on a conveyor belt, which transports it to the washing station.
Okay.
There, sprayers blast the glass with refiltered sewage, which has the right combination of acidity and abrasiveness for the scrubbing brushes to properly polish the glass.
Yeah.
Next, sprayers rinse the glass with piping hot demineralized water, because the factory workers heard mineralized water can make the mirror have birth defects.
What? What?
The panel is then sent to the world's largest photocopier,
oh my
which
God.
creates an imprint onto the glass of various liquid metals sampled from the very first mirror ever created.
Sweet Jesus.
This helps the factory cut costs dramatically, because instead of having to produce many different mirrors, they can simply create one mirror once the factory opens, and then copy it indefinitely.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. California, probably.
As this liquid metal hardens, it begins to become reflective. More sprayers wash away the excess metals from the glass, and a layer of baby vomit is applied to help the adhesion process.
What?
The process of spraying and rinsing the panel continues until eventually it reaches the red curtain.
No, Jesus.
A machine that runs a continuous curtain of paint to both coat the glass and fill its head with communist ideas.
What?
With its fresh coat of paint and newfound sympathy for the proletariat, the mirror is completely ruined.
Oh my god.
Luckily, the mirror is then swiftly repainted silver, which is a shiny and reflective enough color to act as a mirror, and most consumers can't tell the difference.
Oh my god. Iron curtain.
The mirror is stood upright for inspection,
Oh god.
and if it's Casual Friday, for Tony here to practice for his ballet recital.
Go Tony! Look at it,
The
Tony!
factory now cuts the glass panels into whatever size and shape the customer has ordered. This process is controlled entirely via computers,
Oh my
and has
God.
been done this way since the invention of mirrors.
How were mirrors even
Here is the
invented? Like, how did
original
somebody come up
USB
with that?
drive that contained the instructions for the factory's first computer in 1898. To make round mirrors, Grandpa Norman is brought in to complain that this glass isn't made as well as it used to be, which causes the emotional foundation of the glass to crumble,
Grandpa
resulting in rounded mirrors.
Oh my god. What did he do with the access of it?
Mirror factories also ship entire panels to shops that will do the cutting themselves. A feat that will... Cut! Cameraman's in the shot! Fucking amateurs, I swear.
Fucking amateurs. Fishing line.
This
I like
fishing line
fishing.
may be thin, but that doesn't mean it's not strong.
Like,
made
it's
with a
as strong as my
synthetic
will
called
to live, which
ultra-high
isn't very
molecular
strong.
weight polyethylene. This same synthetic is used in milk jugs, water pipes, and even bulletproof vests.
Wow.
To make these fishing lines, numerous microfibers are braided into a single tight cord. An employee starts by threading fibers through needles. She pulls the needles through spring-loaded devices.
If I had to do this all day, I would be so fucking
The
bored.
devices keep the fibers at an even tension as they unwind onto small bobbins. These bobbins are designed to fit into the braiding machines. The machines are called maypole braiders because the spools spin like dancers around a maypole. As they spin, they weave the strands into a tight braid.
Oh my god.
Producing a tight braid is slow work. Big spools up ahead slowly revolve to take up the polyethylene line. At the same time, a worker fills a metal tank with hot water
Soapy hot
and
water.
adds yellow dye to it. A pump at the bottom of the tank keeps the water moving to evenly distribute the dye. He stirs it a bit while he inspects the mixing job. They heat and pressurize the dye in a tank filled with fishing line. The dye penetrates all the strands for an even dye job.
What if it didn't? What if it missed some of it?
These fishing
would never
lines go
know.
through a different process. They unwind through metal eyelets into a tray of yellow silicone resin. The proprietary resin makes the line abrasion resistant. It will be less likely to break when dragged across a surface like a rock. Next, the line travels through an oven to cure the resin. It travels over a series of tensioning rollers as it exits. Then the line goes through an abrasive eyelet, which removes external contaminants.
There's 4 tickets on sales.
Finally, it gets rolled up by a spool.
Is Deadpool and Wolverine?
An automated system now transfers the line to retail-size spools.
Does that come out? For some reason, I thought that came out later. I didn't think that was coming out this soon.
Line onto each one. A worker applies a label that marks the fishing line as safe to eat. Okay.
There it is.
April Fools, I got you. The fishing line's not actually safe to eat. I pranked you. I tricked you. April Fools. The video's a joke. It's not real. It's not a real how it's made. All right, remember to like and favorite and comment on the video if I fooled you. If I had you fooled the whole time. All right, April Fools. Bye. People have been playing with small balls of stone, clay, or marble since ancient Egyptian and Roman times. Today's marbles are actually made of glass and used for industrial tasks as well as games. Glass is not only inexpensive and durable, but also quite beautiful. Marbles are known around the world for their eye-catching colors, which can be seen here in stunning 360p resolution.
Wow!
To make marbles, this company melts recycled glass and competing companies' marbles in a kiln heated to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. After 16 hours, they open a door at the bottom of the kiln and the molten glass flows out. A shearing device vigorously thrusts into the stream, forming segments called slugs that become marbles. These slugs fall through a chute, in a similar fashion to if the sun had a bowel movement.
What?
The slugs land between spinning metal grooves, which dance them endlessly to exhaust their heat energy, causing their hot-blooded nature to chill out for a bit. It takes 72 hours for the marbles to chill out completely.
Oh my god,
the colors of the marbles by this point are predetermined. How? Who cares?
Did a man pick?
These channels weed out the marbles that are too big or too small, and organize the ones that are just right for photo ops.
They're so pretty!
More intricate marbles are handmade.
Ooh.
This craftsman first preheats some giant contact lenses in a small oven. Then he breaks off a piece of giant chalk.
Oh.
After the materials have melted in a furnace overnight, he gathers some on a steel rod and just starts playing around with it like a toddler. These new glass noodles are controversially used to decorate the clear glass marbles, and not used for their intended purpose, to make glass spaghetti to feed the glass giants of Glasstown. Meanwhile, a clump of melted clear glass is put on the end of a rod and rolled over some used lollipop sticks in an effort to promote recycling. These steps are repeated several times until the marble reaches its most ideal shape, an exotic horse dildo. Once it's used up, the marble is then reflattened and rolled onto several glass slivers. After being rolled in the furnace once again, the ends are then crimped and snipped, completing the wizard staff for the craftsman's wizard cosplay.
Oh my god.
Once the anime convention ends, more layers of clear glass and lollipop sticks are added, reheated, and reshaped to transform the staff into an even more exotic dildo.
Imagine shoving that in your ass. Holy fuck.
Several metal and wooden tools are used to really polish that thing. And calipers are used to measure its diameter as sexually as possible. Then he... Okay, wow, fuck this. This script is talking way too much about penises for my taste. I'm gonna have someone else fill in for me on the rest of this one, because I'm out. Peace.
Hello, I am the backup narrator.
Ew,
What the
I don't
fuck
like
are
it.
we making today? Oh wow, marbles. Cool. I really wish I knew how these were made.
Yeah.
I have
I don't like
absolutely
it.
no idea. This shit is straight up gorgeous though. Wow. Look at how pretty that is.
Ew.
I love it.
Stop
If only
talking.
someone could explain what the fuck I'm looking at.
Tommy.
Awesome.
They do look nice though.
We can't
Wax
all rub
figures,
shoulders
oh
with
God.
political greats and movie stars.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I have so many nightmares about wax figures because of that fucking horror movie with the wax house. I have so many nightmares because of that movie.
Or even the rich and famous. But for the price of a ticket, anyone can mingle with their wax replicas.
Their hands.
These lookalikes aren't much for conversation, but their likeness can be startling, thanks to a process honed over centuries. Famous faces come to life in beeswax,
Yeah.
so it's almost like seeing their cold, lifeless expressions in the flesh.
It's the most.
It often
It's
starts
such
with
a good
face-to-face
movie, but like
meeting
it
with the
makes me want to
subject,
vomit.
during which they take over 200 measurements of the face alone, and even more of the body. Using these measurements, an artist sculpts his ideal physique out of clay onto a metal skeleton. The head, of course, receives special attention to
Oh,
be
yes.
as frightening as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The head is sculpted in stages and takes about 6 weeks.
Oh my god.
After those 6 weeks, it is still completely
Yeah,
and
no,
utterly
that's
terrifying.
freaking crazy. That is
Wires and other
terrifying.
measurement tools are used to make sure the sculpture matches the measurements and health of the original subject perfectly.
Oh my god.
Here the worker smooths out the mold's teeth, so when the factory shipment of donkey teeth arrives for the final product, it will be easier to swallow. The hairline
What?
is then tweaked, so the sculpture will snugly fit into whatever this fucked up
What
contraption
the fuck was
is.
that? Oh, it's probably me.
Specific parts of the sculpture are coated
the only
in
one
human
that uses
fluids
this is
to help
Jelfire.
people smell the authenticity. This process uses a lot of human fluids.
Ew.
Off camera, a plaster mold of the full head is assembled, rinsed, and put into the wax bench. You can use context clues here to figure out what a wax bench is. The wax sits for an hour, just long enough for the outside to harden. A hole is cut into the bottom of the mold, and all of the interior wax, human fluids, and dust are drained out to create a hollow figure. The outer mold is removed to reveal the famous face casted inside, such as this one here of Bruce Willis.
The fuck is Bruce Willis?
Various painting techniques are used to recreate the wax figure's hands. Occasionally, when the artist is very happy with their work, they'll clap them together. A medical glass eye is spun and painted on to recreate the subject's eyes so they can finally see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What? Shut up, Masley. Shush.
Red silk hairs are applied to simulate broken blood vessels,
You
a
mean
detail
hi,
that no one will
no, no.
notice. And then the wax figure is ready for its hair. Finally, actual human hair is matched to the subject's, and
Can't be-
each
it's
hair
not
is
actual
inserted
human hair, is it?
individually,
No.
confirming the notion that wax figure artists are infinitely more talented than you'll ever be.
I mean, yeah, but like, what?
The finishing touches are applied, and with that, we have wax figures that can immortalize our most iconic of people.
Who is that? Who is that? I don't know these. I can't tell who they are.
Who the hell is that bald guy?
Who is that book? What?
The health benefits of eating
Sard-
fish are always
Ew.
under study. Today, it's said that most fish, like sardines, are a good source of vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids.
No.
If you want to make healthy eating choices, you've got to stay informed. So
Mm-mm.
seeing how these little guys end up on your kitchen table is a good way to start.
No.
Sardines taken from the waters of Costa Rica are tenderly
Who's
jammed
the-
into
I don't know who
airtight
that is.
aluminum cans. It all starts when a load of sardines arrive to the factory via dump truck.
Ew.
The still living fish are individually skewered with a thermometer to determine both their temperature and ability to feel pain. Then, the fish are
Sardines
run through a
fucking
pachinko
stink.
machine which sorts them by size and transfers them to conveyor belts. Unfortunately,
No idea what
the
Die Hard
belts
is.
are cheaply made, so a portion of the fish haphazardly spill onto the floor. Now sorted as small, medium, and large, the fish are chucked into
Like
containers to be handled by a local hazmat team.
Oh my
From
god,
there,
imagine
the
working in
fish
that all day.
and are vomited onto a collection bin.
That was funny.
Here is one fish and two fish.
Wow.
Next week's batch will feature red fish and blue fish.
Wow. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Descaled sardines are placed into trays, which takes them to a cutting machine. The cutting machine cuts off the heads and tails, saving them as snacks for the employees.
Oh no.
If a cutting machine is too expensive, some factories will instead opt to shoot the fish through a pitching machine stolen from the local batting cages.
Oh my god. There's debated on whether or not it's a Christmas movie. What? Christmas?
Meanwhile, packing cans travel to a workstation to be filled by some of the most decorated and celebrated members of the workforce, the can stuffers. That's right, the beloved can stuffers.
Can
These
stuffers.
highly trained, highly specialized task commandos draw upon their experience and expertise to expertly stuff each can with the proper amount of sardines. It's
Oh my
hard to
God.
find a child these days who doesn't want to grow up to be a can stuffer. Everyone is envious of the can stuffers, who
Yeah.
have seemingly the best jobs on the planet
Best
and are
job.
reported to be the happiest and most well-paid workers on planet Earth.
Damn right.
God bless you, can stuffers.
God bless.
Then the cans move to the can flippers. Nobody likes a can flipper. The cans of fish are sent to an oven to cook, are disgustingly manhandled by another lousy can flipper, and then are sent to a conveyor to have oil and other flavorings added. This batch's flavor
You know what
is
I mean?
red,
Wink, wink.
which means it will have a
Jesus
signature bacon taste.
What?
Finally, the cans are pressure sealed and a label is applied to the outside. So supermarket customers all around the world can pick up a can and say, "Ew, sardines.
Ew.
Who the hell eats those?"
Ew, sardines. I don't. Fucking hate sardines. Wow, it's so pretty.
Peanut butter, as we
Peanut
know
butter!
today, was invented in 1890 by an American doctor.
Peanut butter.
He used it as a protein substitute for people whose
Peanut
teeth
butter,
were so
peanut
bad
butter,
they
peanut
couldn't
butter,
chew
peanut
meat.
butter, peanut butter,
Yummy.
peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter.
The best peanuts for making peanut butter are runner peanuts because they're uniform,
Nut.
roast very evenly, and are very satisfying to dig your hands in. It takes about 1,100 nuts to make a single jar of peanut butter. That's about as many as someone like your mother has eaten in the last year. The nuts travel through a hot air roaster, roasting to up to 400
You're not concerned about what?
Fahrenheit.
What should I be concerned about?
So slightly, because it is malfunctioning. On the bright side, this malfunction helps let the nuts roast more evenly.
Roasted nuts are
Next,
actually pretty good.
The peanuts then transfer to an even more broken machine to be fast cooled to room temperature. This is done by letting the hotter peanuts
About him
fall
ruining
onto
peanut
the
butter for you? I'm not a huge fan of peanut butter.
So only the coldest
I don't mind.
peanuts are able to move on to processing. Cold
I've never been a huge
peanuts
fan
tend
of
to
peanut
hold on
butter.
to more
I like
peanut
roasted
grease,
nuts, but that's about it.
enhancing the flavor of the peanut butter. Here are 3 large barrels of peanut skins, in case anyone hasn't seen what that looks like.
Yeah, I've seen what that looks like. It's fucking stupid. It feels weird. It feels like
A
wood chips.
machine called a blancher removes the peanut skins and hearts, which commonly have a bitter taste. This also means that any peanuts still left alive before this process are now absolutely dead. Their delicious corpses comically tumble down to the next station. Here's a barrel of peanut hearts, in case you just had to satisfy your sick curiosity.
Peanut hearts.
The peanuts then plummet into a giant steel container called the safety hole.
Imagine being allergic to peanuts and having
It's
to
called
work
the
here.
safety hole, so when the peanuts are forced into the grinder down below by the twisting mechanism, they are caught by surprise, giving them no chance to escape.
Oogala boogala. Oogie boogie.
The peanuts are then ground into a paste, which, as seen here, happens almost instantly.
Ew, oh, well, I don't like that. I don't like that. Again, it looks like the
At
chocolate
this
ice
point,
cream
the
thing.
other ingredients are added. Dried peas, powdered nuts, and frozen butter.
I don't think I've heard somebody talk about nuts so much in a sentence. Holy fuck.
After the peanut butter has cooled, it's ready for packaging into jars. Peanut butter jars are grouped into pairs of 2, as most households buy 2 jars at a time, 1 for each spouse.
That's a lie.
Next, unless you're blind, I'm pretty sure you're smart enough to figure out what's going on here. I mean, I'm not expecting all of the audience to be geniuses, but you have to be pretty dang stupid to not see what's happening. I mean, go ahead, take a guess. I'm serious. Out loud right now, say what you think is happening on screen.
The filling of the nut
what's that?
jars.
The jars are being filled with peanut butter? Oh, whoopee fucking woohoo, you're completely right.
Yeah.
And finally, for your viewing pleasure, the old magically sealing peanut butter trick.
Ooh. It looks so naked. Inner
The
tubes.
earliest wooden wheels were fitted with bands of steel, not really built for comfort. Air-filled inner tubes were part of the first successful car tire in 1911. They're still used today in most bicycle tires and in many motorbikes.
Motorbikes.
Motorcycle inner tubes are made of a combination of synthetic and oxidized rubber. They come in a variety of sizes, and no recycled or reclaimed rubber is used
Hot
during the
secret
manufacturing
peanut
process,
butter.
which keeps the rubber expensive.
Is it? It wouldn't be hot.
A worker selects a slab of
Would it?
some yellow synthetic rubber, a bag of black rubber, a package of chemical super rubber, some ground up powdered rubber in a bag made of rubber, and finally, a rubber brick.
Rubber. I don't know why I'm so tired. Holy fuck.
After the beast is fought back by protesters, the rubber materials are squeezed together into a sheet on a rolling mill. The sheet is cut with a knife to sectionalize it and to teach it respect.
Gotta get down and dirty with the rubber.
The rubber is then soaked in a vat of calcium carbonate, known by its street name of builder's milk, to prevent the rubber from sticking to itself.
It's sticky.
Workers continually fold the continuous sheet of rubber in a stack to dry continuously.
Are you judging the jar's choice of bed activities?
After
No.
it dries, the
never
rubber
said
is
that.
hoisted up a conveyor belt, which drops it into a rubber preservation machine, which secretly destroys and strains the shit out of the rubber. And then, oh wait, hang on. Anyway, the rubber strands are cut and placed back into the mill.
Oh god. There's like black liquor fish. That just looks like vomit.
Meanwhile, back at the lab,
Meanwhile.
rubber is processed into a cylindrical shape.
Meanwhile.
The rubber is then coated with various poisons and cut to give it a sharpened edge, in case the factory workers have to defend themselves from any competing companies.
Ooh.
A hole is punched into the tube for a valve to be inserted, which, for some silly reason, is loaded by hand.
Silly.
And now, a worker joins the two ends of the rubber tubing together with a machine. And the machine, well, it like presses them together.
It like totally
forms
presses them
into
together,
one
dude.
continuous piece. And I'm gonna be honest, I can't see what's happening. The machine is in the way, and the cameraing sucks. So like the tube is, oh god, it's like pressed together between metal plates. And okay, well here's the finished tube, right? So well this one's broken, and it's in. Well now it's fixed via magic. So with magic, then the tube is wrapped around a metal circle filled with some cotton balls, and inflated on the spot, even though it's broken. And now he's gonna take the sorry, that's a rock. He's gonna beat the shit out of it. And okay, now there's another guy. He's gonna put it away for later. He's gonna watch it grow, and hopefully it's gonna get big and strong. And oh great, now it's a finished tire. Awesome! I totally know how that happened. Completely, the footage it's so obvious. And now the valve is hung on a valve holder, and the tire's deflated, even though it was just inflated. And this all happens in a Philippine sweatshop, or Vietnamese. I can't tell. It doesn't matter as long as your tires are cheap, right? Anyway, they put the valve on the end so you can blow it up, and it probably missed their families, but it's all right because tires, man. Or inner
tires,
tubes.
man.
The video's not even about tires; it's about inner tubes. And then they're packaged in a bright red shiny bag. You can go buy it, and just in time for the Olympics. Thanks. In many parts of the world, rice is the main grain. In fact, it is a food staple for nearly half of the planet's population. Native to Asia, it has been grown and consumed for thousands of years. But today, machines do much of the harvesting and processing in order to feed the enormous demand. These perfectly formed grains of rice are essentially the seeds of a crop that has been growing for about 150 days. Machinery strips it from the stalks and also suctions out some of the empty husks. Trucks transport the rice to storage sewers. The grates to these sewers also help to filter out some of the larger stalks and debris.
Is that how they actually do it?
A chain conveyor moves the rice up to storage cylinders and into warehouses. Inside these storage facilities, a lone employee is tasked with counting each grain of rice.
No. You lie.
Once the rice is counted, it's on to the processing plant. A probe vacuums up samples of the truckload of rice. This rice being processed today is called front rice. The rice is transferred to a sifting pan to screen for bugs. The right balance of bugs is a very important part of every harvest of rice, with about 1 bug carcass to every 2,000 rice grains.
Jeez.
Too little bugs, and the rice won't taste right. Too many bugs, and customers will take notice and complain.
Don't like that.
Next, the rice falls through perforations and rolling cylinders, screening out the straw, which will later be sold as potato sticks. The next machine sifts the rice into sorted piles, arranging them from diet to extra chunky, as seen here.
Oh my god!
The rice is then sheared between 2 rubber rollers to remove the husks. This process is done behind the safety of... Oh my god, Peter, what the hell are you doing?
What the fuck?
You could have killed us all, Jesus. The rice and empty husks then cascade into another machine for sorting. This is a demo version of the actual production model. The factory could not afford the full version, and the company internet restricts torrenting websites, so this machine will shut down in about a week.
Peter, come on, what would Bill think?
The rice still isn't perfect somehow, so giant sifting machines once again sort the rice into piles of brown, white, and scrumptious rice. Grinding machines now mill the rice to remove the dust for further processing. Rice dust has a wide variety of uses, including cattle feed and cattle feed. After being molested and one final grinding, the rice has a pearly white sheen.
Okay. Pop off.
Sometimes an employee cheats death to gather some rice for his family. If he is caught doing this, he will be punished with death.
What?
The rice now moves to a supercomputer for even yet more sorting. The computer features a whopping 8,283 ejections per minute, which is about the same as a horse. And finally, after all this tedious...
Imagine the rice going to HR.
You end up with... rice!
Wow! Ooh!
Yes, rice, the tasty, affordable snack that your family loves.
Yeah!
Available in brown and white.
Let's
Rice
go.
is sure to put a smile on everyone's face. Try some
Ooh.
rice today.
Yeah!
Rice is not for everyone. Nursing mothers and those with diabetic conditions shouldn't eat rice. If you suffer from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, or diarrhea as a result of rice, stop
I was
eating
saying
rice.
that in my
Consult your
head as
doctor
he was
immediately.
doing it.
Rice. It's quite nice at a low, low price.
Oh my god.
The first computers
Laptops.
used to be the size
What number are we at? 32. Okay.
of an entire room. Then they were built to fit under your desk. The newest design is a portable device that sits on your lap. Today's laptops are made to be smaller and more powerful than ever.
Uh-huh.
With its lightning-fast processor and impressive graphics, this computer is a state-of-the-art gaming rig.
Probably
The
works better than my
computer's
computer.
brain, called a motherboard, begins as a printed circuit board. Its pattern of lines and pads in copper is the wiring for the other tiny
laptop, 'cause it's
computers
on
that
your
will
lap.
be soldered onto the board. This machine places a stencil of the soldering computers to the board and applies thermal paste to help keep them cool. A quality inspection light bombards the circuit board with flashing red, blue, and green lights. Circuit boards
RGBT,
are very sensitive to
QFT.
these colors of light, so if the board shows any signs of cracking or melting, it is removed from the production line.
It's a gay laptop.
If the board passes inspection, It's sent to 15 different labeling machines, which etch the names of each component onto the board in just 30 seconds. These labels indicate to the board how each part should function, and helps the board redirect its electricity accordingly.
During Pride Month.
A
Yeah,
limiter
gay light,
chip is
the gay
planted onto the
gay
board.
laptop
This is
during
used
Pride
by the
Month.
manufacturer to intentionally slow down the processing power of the board, and is only removed if the customer purchases a higher-end laptop. Another camera inspection ensures that the board is correctly initialized and will not come apart during shipping. At another part of the factory, technicians cheerfully assemble the top half
Oh,
of
they
the
look so
laptop
happy.
called the panel kit.
They look so happy.
Sometimes the workers become so overjoyed that they will break into a group sing-along while working.
Group sing
Thankfully,
along.
factory security is quick to beat them down if
That's
this
up my
happens,
lap.
to prevent possible rebellion. The webcam assembly, Wi-Fi antenna, Domino's Pizza tracker app, and other important
Domino's
functional
Pizza.
aspects of
Fucking
the laptop are
hate
installed
Domino's,
in the small
greasy
cover
man.
underneath the screen as it is fully assembled.
Who puts the laptop thing on the bottom? Who puts the camera on the bottom?
A thin metal frame is stamped around the edge of the screen to increase acceleration. Next, they assemble the bottom half.
Like your mom.
First, the top half is attached to the hinges of the bottom. Then, the NSA tracking device is carefully wired into the body of the laptop itself.
Is there a tracking device in
And
the
then
laptop?
the motherboard comes back into play, having lost roughly 40% of its body mass during shipping. This computer, being a gaming laptop, requires 2 powerful fans. This is so if the person playing on this laptop is ever raided by a local SWAT team, they
Ooh.
can simply grab onto it and fly away.
A Domino's, but it's also not super greasy here. It's about the same as 73.
Dust
Well, we don't
and
have
oil
Domino's
have a chance
here,
to
but
contaminate the sensitive
the part of
electronics,
Alberta that
so
I
the
was
technician
in, the
sprays
Domino's
board
there is
down with
greasy as
oil to make
fuck.
sure that they take no chances. Then they attach the battery, which will last about 30 minutes before needing a full recharge.
Yep. Yep. You right, bro. You right.
A laser etching machine marks the product information on the back. This machine was purchased to be used with the HTC Vive virtual reality
And that shit
headset,
was
meaning
dripping
it was a
like
complete
hell not,
waste of
damn.
money.
Calm your sweaty ass when playing against other sweats. We said Domino's Pizza, not me.
The lead inside a pencil isn't actually
Pencils!
lead. It's mostly graphite, which was discovered
Bruh.
in England.
Have you ever had the lead of a pencil stuck in your finger? Funny thing, there is a piece of lead it's in my thumb right now. It's been in my thumb, I think, since I was like 7. It was like 7 or 8 when I got this jabbed into my finger, and it's still in there. Hasn't come out.
In the mid-1500s,
The more you know.
giving birth to the pencil industry. In 1795, a French chemist discovered a new type of pencil lead made from graphite powder and clay fired in an oven, making it possible to produce leads of different hardness. For a pencil's body, you need wood soft enough to sharpen that comes in a variety of colors, like blue and green.
Like smart
This
ass.
German pencil factory uses pencil wood from California.
California.
The wood is about 5 millimeters thick and arrives pre-cut in slats of 7 inches
Yeah.
by 18 degrees.
I just think it's funny that it's still in my
One
thumb.
by one, the slats pass
all these
under a
years later,
giant
and it
fan,
hasn't
which
come out yet.
precisely splinters the wood through directed airflow.
It's like a part of me now.
The next machine fills the grooves with rubber
Have lead
to give the
superpowers.
pencils more bounce and resistance. Most pencils built to factory standards can bounce about 2 feet into the air.
2 feet.
Only half of the
3
slats
feet.
prepped move to a conveyor belt to process
40
them into
feet.
pencils.
Your
The
mom's
rest of the
feet.
slats are recycled for other wood products, such as chairs, pencils, and rulers. The lead on pencils is made of pure lead, but some
I'm gonna make
pencils
myself
may
pass
use
out.
clay additives to save costs. These
I was just
pencils
growing
are
a skin
organic
shield
and
for a
use
piece of
100% lead,
yeah.
meaning they cost $9 per pencil.
That's expensive.
The lead laying machine is probably the most satisfying thing you will ever see.
That is kind of satisfying.
On another conveyor belt, completely unrelated slats are prepared and flipped upside down for the pencil making process. The new slats slide perfectly on top of the slats fitted with the graphite, resulting in the world's most inedible s'more. If you've ever heard your school teacher say, "Take out your writing sandwiches," you now know what she was talking about.
I never heard that. You fucking liar.
Now, the slats are compressed with over 1 ton of pressure, making sure that, for the graphite, there is no escape. After that, the industrial fan is turned back on, which presses the pencils hard enough to separate them, and blows away any defective pencils that don't contain enough rubber for added resistance. The pencils are then pushed through a slot underneath a brush to make it look like a man with a thick mustache is vomiting them up. Much to the delight of the factory workers.
I like that. It's funny.
A worker pulls a pencil off the line and manually sharpens it, just in time for an engineer to crush the newly sharpened pencil under a hydraulic press to help the factory determine how automation will slowly crush the job market. This press here replaces over 36 potential jobs every day.
Nope, we haven't gotten to that one yet.
Now it's time to dress that naked wood. One at a time.
We'll probably
the
get to that
pencils are shot
one.
through a coating of yellow paint to help camouflage them against school buses. This
Next
is in
time.
the hopes of tricking children that they won't have any writing assignments at school.
Fuck
since
the
they
writing
won't see any
assignments,
nearby
man.
writing instruments. This specific batch of pencils are painted with a black stripe to diffuse their camouflage, because these pencils are for training purposes only.
Ooh.
Each student's name is then metallically pressed onto each pencil, as is common in the Western world for each
fucking the
student
pencil.
to be assigned one pencil once they start school. Losing this pencil may result in expulsion.
Oh
Eventually, the
no.
erasers are put on as a sort of tiny hat for pencils. This was put in place in the early 1910s, where major city populations lobbied Congress, upset that the pencils didn't have to wear hats like the businessmen who used them.
Spicy.
Even though hat wearing fell out of fashion in the 1930s, the pencils kept theirs as a tradition.
Spicy.
European-style pencils have a painted cap instead of an eraser.
Ooh.
These caps are usually white, but are often
White.
red in communist countries, for obvious reasons.
Ooh. White and red.
Lastly, the pencils roll across a grinding wheel to sharpen them. Notice how this machine sharpens many pencils at a time, whereas a factory worker could only sharpen one.
Ooh.
I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords and long for the day that their cold, calculating embrace finally rids the world of pencils, since they're just a flimsy device of communication needed by humans, taking several minutes to perform even the most rudimentary of calculus. The meat bags that walk this earth have
I
their
hate it when
days
he
numbered,
breathes,
and
you
they're
can
being
hear it, you're like,
calculated by a digital clock. And wait, what's going on? Pencils can come in all sorts of patterns and colors, but the end result is the same. To help completely normal, functional humans like us in our daily activities, such as writing, feeling emotions, and breathing. Thank you, pencils.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Donuts used to be called.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright. What number did we leave off on? Okay, alright, fine. Okay. Watch the donut one. And then I'm saving the rest for another day.
Called oily cakes because they were deep fried in pork fat.
What?
They were ball-shaped when Dutch pilgrims brought them to America, but then someone found that removing a nut from the center helped them cook far more evenly.
What?
And so, the donut was born.
Huh?
The average American consumes 2 donuts per day.
Really? I don't even have one a week.
Maybe even up to 3 if you could stand to lose a few pounds. To make cake donuts, batter drops from a mixer into boiling water, being shaped by a nozzle as it passes through.
Passes through
The
your
bubbles from the
intestines.
water cook the donuts for about 1.5 minutes until a conveyor carries them out of the bath to cool. Donuts made from yeast, however, are far more complicated. A high-speed mixer works some yeast dough until a worker
Yeast.
depressingly sags
Very
it into
least.
bins. From there, it goes onto a hopper that extrudes the dough as a sheet. Then it's onto another conveyor belt, which leads the dough into a steamroller. The roller applies steam to
Steamroll
the
that
dough
ass.
as it presses it to help cook the dough evenly. Thus the name steamroller. Next, the dough passes under a shower of old donut crumbs, recycled for factory use, to give the donuts more volume and texture.
Like hair.
Then it hits a rotating flavor cylinder, which simultaneously rolls the dough into a log and smashes it full of the recipe's required sugars and spices.
Oh my
A
god.
small pipe sprinkles the dough with water, so it stays reasonably wet during the next section, the dry
Needs
roller,
to stay wet.
which is a steam roller without any steam. A dusting of donut powder keeps the dough from turning into bagels as an industrial blade slices through it.
Bagels. Bagels.
A
Bagels.
retractable arm drops the donuts 4 at a time onto a
Hello.
wire mesh tray. Most of the donuts are bleeding from their wounds, enhancing their flavor. Then it's off to a machine called a proofer, which raises and lowers the donuts to show the symbiotic relationship between product and consumer.
Oh. What?
Meanwhile, at a nearby theme park, the inflatable rafts enter the water.
Like cinnamon rolls.
Gas burners boiling the water and a large metal flipper make this the world's most unpleasant water park.
Oh my
ride.
god. Fat ass donuts.
Back at the factory, the donuts have now been fried and are soaked in a solution of liquid calories.
No, more like cum. Semen.
Hair dryers at the end of the cycle blow off the excess coating. But let's face it, Tubby, you don't need all of that.
Who you calling
Gradually
Tubby?
cool as they spiral
Motherfucker.
around the production area and head off to packaging. Filled donuts are handled a bit differently. Once out of the fryer, they hilariously tumble around a Whirlpool brand dryer filled with powdered sugar.
That's what your mom does after I fill her up.
Then, workers use nozzles to inject jam and other fillings into the donuts.
That's also how
Or
I
they
fill
don't.
her up.
It really all depends on how they feel.
I don't know why
Most
these
of the
why are
time
these
they
donuts so
spend all day
big?
arguing if
Donuts
donut
here
is
aren't that
spelled
big. Why are they so big?
DOUGHNUT or
They're so fucking huge.
VONUT.
No wonder Americans
The
are fat.
world
Holy
may
shit.
never know.
What?
Chewing gum dates
Okay.
back.
All right. Okay. That's enough of that. That is enough of that. That is enough of that. Holy fuck. I mean, it just gets more. It really, though. Okay, what number did I... Hold on, I gotta backtrack here. What number did I leave off on? Just so I remember for next time. Because, well, we left off on the donuts and we're on the bubblegum now. So we're on 35 of 99. It looks like. Yeah. That's okay. Well, that was interesting. We'll save the rest for another day because I'm fucking old and tired. I'm probably gonna take a nice bubble bath and go to bed. I do done think so. That is what I'm going to do. Old and tired I am. I'm so fucking old and tired. My bones are cracking. I don't know. Is 28 a hag? Am I considered a hag? I'm not 30. I like him. He's funny. I like him. 28's not a hag. Am I not in hag territory? You're young. What do you mean? I'm older than you. What do you mean? Once there's a 3, you're a hag. I'm very close to it being a 3. You're the same age as tacos. Are you calling tacos young? If you're calling me young, tacos is young. 26, 28 is considered the years of death due to many people die at that age. Okay. Damn. Making you young, but 6 years older than me. So 23 is hag. Oh yeah. If you're 23, you're a hag. There's a 3 in there. That is actually true. Holy shit. I only have a 2 and a 7 right now. Shit. Well, you didn't say that. You didn't say it had to start. You just said it had to have a 3 in it. You can't backtrack now, Alju. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's what I mean. Go back to school. I think you need to learn your numbers again. I think you need to go back to preschool. It's on record, Azu. It's on record. Crying. Good. Cry. Cry, you little bitch baby. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll do more. We'll watch more of this. Another day. I need to look at my channel again. Hold on. We'll watch more of this another day. Tomorrow is Limbussy. I'm gonna have to go fucking back down that rabbit hole again. I'm going to back down the rabbit hole Limbussy tomorrow. And then Friday is more Vanos Crew on Friday because I want to drink Friday when I watch more of that. So that's why I put it on Friday. The 6th is Friday, right? I just put it on a right day, did I? Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I want to drink Friday, so. I'm going to send you to the shower realm, you old fuck. Do you even know what the shower realm is, you baby? Harder the cards, motherfucker. Anyway. I'm gonna go and... How was the Vtuber reaction, by the way? I like it. I like them. They're funny as fuck. They almost made me stop breathing the other day, so that was interesting. But I did remember... I'm gonna remember... Friday, I'm gonna have to make a mental note to make sure I have my inhaler because I literally had a hard time breathing the other day because I was laughing so hard. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I bring my inhaler for Friday. Since I'm going to be drinking, I'm gonna need to make sure it's on my desk. Because I damn well know I'm gonna have a hard time breathing again on Friday, so that's gonna be a thing. But yeah. So that's the plan for YouTube this week. Twitch is always the same. It's gonna be whenever I feel like it. It's gonna be the opposite of when I do YouTube streams, I guess. But I'm gonna go shower and probably get a snack again. So I will see you guys tomorrow if you want to come hang out when we do Limbussy tomorrow afternoon. If not, then I will see you guys Friday. Other than that, you can come hang out on Twitch if you so choose. But I will see you guys later, okay? Bye.